For the residents, I think, and for myself and what I saw, the one-to-one interaction and the relationship building for me, I thought was very special.
It was a great opportunity to meet other people and hear their stories and watch their characters, which was quite eye-opening and quite useful to me.
Bringing 20 elderly people in wheelchairs, many with dementia, to perform at the British Museum was a considerable challenge. For those with the responsibility of making it happen, it had to be worth it.
I felt so moved by the whole experience. Scepticism to being moved and to feel pride in everything that you did.
I think I was partly overjoyed by the dedication and the enthusiasm and the energy of the residential care staff, who were absolutely phenomenal.
It is thinking outside the box sometimes. This was, for me, an impossibility that came true, I think.
Yeah.
And you said that when you were little, if there was ever anything difficult, what would your mother do? She would say,
"Come on now, Gladys, come on, Billy, you can do it."
Offering care home residents a public platform in such epic surroundings was a deliberate challenge to the widespread view that life in a care home means being forgotten.
I mean, these are awesome spaces, they're awesome objects, and the fact that these participants so willingly and happily got up underneath the lights and shared their stories, I think if people did hold those perceptions of older people, particularly older people's in care, before they saw this performance, they wouldn't really be able to hold them afterwards.
I would say it lifted their spirits, it gave them a sense of being as well, didn't it? It was all about them, done in a very clever way, and I think it's had a long-lasting memory on a lot of our residents.
Yeah.
The experience was also profoundly moving for the audience, many of whom had never expected to see their elderly loved ones empowered in public in this way.
She cried a few tears, didn't she?
She did, yeah.
I think pride of you as well, of her dad being there.
The project would not have been possible without building a unique set of partnerships. With the National Theatre Studio, who had hosted the original workshops.
I carry your heart.
Probably the best way to describe the National Theatre Studio is it's a department of the National Theatre where we experiment new work and new ideas for productions ultimately. So this was a really special project. We have done it once before, and we're doing another project with Rosetta Life next week.
And with the British Museum.
But what was really exciting for us about this is that we were able to partner with a creative organisation in Rosetta Life, which definitely did things very dynamically, very creatively, that we couldn't possibly have done ourselves, even if we'd have had the time and the staff and all the rest of it to do this kind of work.
Needle and thread. And you were telling me about your sister. She taught you how to sew.
Yeah, it was very good. Very good. She's still good.
And the great thing about the modernisation initiative for end of life care being involved in the project was that we also knew that it was grounded in something that would have an incredible legacy within healthcare, which is something that the British Museum can't hope to achieve on its own, and Rosetta Life can only hope to achieve so much of. Whereas the partnership was great because it was big organisations coming together in an exciting way that you hope will bring change, and that's the point of partnership, really.
When everyone had explained their images, they moved through to the Asian galleries, where the actors played back to them scenes from their youth.
But I just saw a butterfly.
Little you were lucky.
And there was a fair. But it's a shilling to get in, isn't
There
it?
were regrets for missed opportunities and things that might have been different.
I didn't have a shilling.
Oh, ask me and I would have given it to you.
Thank you. She never fitted in the family. Never fitted in.
And so sad memories were left behind, and everyone embraced the here and now, which they celebrated through music and dance.
I was also amazed at how much could be done over a relatively short amount of time to engage participants and get them to a point where they were comfortable working within the museum space, working with slightly different people all the time who were cropping up to get engaged in the project, supporting them to share their stories in a way that they were comfortable with, interacting with the museum and the collections, and then creating something where they felt confident enough to take part in a participatory way within the museum space. So I think it's really changed my ideas of what's possible.
Towards the end, the dance arrived at Tower Bridge, which had come to represent a kind of gateway to the hereafter, a threshold from which one could look back and take stock of the life that had passed.
Look, our friends are gathered here at the bridge, watching, waiting for the gates to open.
Most of the audience and the care staff who attended were alert to these themes.
See that butterfly, huh?
Reg too understood that the show explored issues around death and dying.
Nothing, ever again.
Dealt with it. And the life of death as well. We were very fearful of death, it seemed. But if you visit a museum like that, you see how nations dealt with it. They give you confidence. It's not real. You don't need to have all the fear about it that you have.
But it's harder to say whether the show prompted those living with dementia to reflect on their own mortality. But perhaps the very act of telling your story and being heard in such special surroundings was enough.
Yeah, bye.
And the afterglow of a great night out would encourage staff and relatives to begin talking about these issues later.
What we should never make the assumption is that people with dementia are not aware. I am so struck when I talk to carers and they've said to me, my wife didn't talk for several years and then at death she said, I love you or thank you.
We all need someone to understand us. And when all our hearts are free of pain and suffering and can appreciate the love we have all known and given, we can all help each other move on.
Although we knew that there were participants in the group who were dealing with dementia to various different degrees, I think I didn't really feel that when I was working with them, and I really felt like there was a sense in this project of dealing with memory, of thinking about the future, of preparing for the future, but also very much of living in the present, and of recognising that everyone's present is important no matter at what stage of life you're at.
Sometimes tempted to betray, yet we know we learned to love well, travelled wide, grown up together.
And I think that what we can do is knowing the person, knowing what they like, we could individualise the comfort care that we give. And that is specialist care. It's not giving care, but it's actually achieving what's really important to that person right up until death. And I think that we should struggle for that for every single person, because that's what we would all want, isn't it?
May our legacy be the love we have known.
That often by not talking about it, we're not able to know what's really important to that person to achieve the quality of life of excellence right up until death, because we don't talk about it, so we don't ask them.
We are the guides.
John?
Joy.
Guy?
Liz.
We are your guides.
And these are our musicians.
And these are our friends. May our legacy
be the love we have known,
that has lightened our hearts
in the balance of
love and truth.
Farewell.
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 And thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.